Hello everyone and happy Friday. Today we wanted to do something special, a little cooking lesson. So these are going to be some photos of me cooking. I've already cooked, but I will show you pictures of what we made. It was a plum crumble from the plums in our backyard. So let me share my screen and show you some of the pictures. So these are just probably half of the plums that we have in our backyard right now. And so we decided that it was time to cook them or use them. So I'm going to also make some preserves, I think. But I wanted to show you just how many came off my tree. So I used those, and here's just one of them to show you real quick. So this is one plum, and then when you open it, this is what it looks like. So some plums are purple on the inside, some are yellow like this. Those are the two varieties that I have seen. But so inside you can actually see the seed here. And then in the next photo, I think I'm showing you how many seeds I used for my recipe. So this is how many seeds of how many plums I used. So I want you to pause the video and count how many plums I used for this recipe. Go ahead and pause and count. Okay, so here's the cut up plums ready to be, to start the recipe. So I cut them all apart in little slices. Each plum was 6 slices. So each half I cut into 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. So did that. Then the next part of the recipe. So here's what I used. So I have some old-fashioned oats here. I have some cinnamon. I have some cornstarch, some flour, and 2 different types of butter, unsalted and salted butter, in addition to the plums in there in the background. So here is the first step. You're supposed to take your plums and use cornstarch. So I had double the recipe that I normally use. And so I'll send you a little link to the recipe for so I did a blueberry crumble this summer with blueberries that I had from my yard. So I just used the same recipe for the crumble on top with plums. So here's the cornstarch. Doesn't look pretty, but it tastes good once you're. So this next step was to take the rolled oats and do 2 cups. So 2 cups of rolled oats are in there. 1 cup of flour, all-purpose flour, and then cinnamon. I do a little extra because I love the taste of cinnamon, and it's a good anti-inflammatory, if you didn't know. It's about 1 teaspoon. And then I cut up all the butter. So I did salted and unsalted butter, so I didn't have to add any extra salt. So this was actually 2 sticks of butter. Lots of butter. And then we added the brown sugar. So this was, I think, 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar, maybe a cup. I'll look again. You'll see on the recipe. And then you have to mush it all together. This is the sensory part of the lesson. So I was having to scrunch it all together, get that butter incorporated with the flour, the rolled oats, the cinnamon, and the brown sugar. Then I sprinkled it all on top of those plums that had the cornstarch on it. And then I put it in the oven to bake for about 45 minutes. And this is what it looked like when it was done. It started to bubble up around on the edges. And it was very, very tasty. So I recommend, you could do this with just about any type of fruit. So I had never done it with plums, but it really tasted great. So I've done it with blueberries. You could totally do it like peaches. This time of fall, it's hard with like berries and stuff, but ultimate end of summer sort of recipe. And now we're in fall. All right. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next week.